I'm Stephen, and I'm a pastor.
I'm Lisa, and I was a school teacher before our surprise baby. We're doing our best trying to balance faith, family, and fitness.
We're chasing big goals, including qualifying for Boston. And we're running our second half strong. All right, welcome back to Second Half Strong. And so today we're going to be a little all over the place. We're going to be talking about first just kind of a recap of our half marathon we just did together, and then we're going to talk about Lisa's knee injury and how all that came to be and what's going on with that and her recovery, and then also just what our monthly updates are going to be. Then going into my first mile for time, which is one of the things we're going to track as we're trying to get faster and qualify for Boston. So take us through the race.
Race day was perfect weather. I think it was perfect weather for a half marathon. It was blue skies, sunny, no wind, about 45 degrees at the starting line. It was great. I was so excited. More than anything, I was just excited to run this race. It was my last race that I ran before I had to give up running for 60 years. So, and I had run it, this was like for the fourth or fifth time maybe that I've run this half marathon. So just one of my favorite races, just a small local race. Super excited to get going. And like normal, I am so excited at the starting line, I start too fast. And I wound up pulling my hamstring mile one, which I have never ever done running other than like around the bases, playing softball, but never pulled my hamstring just running in a race. It took a couple miles, but I got it to ease up and kind of calm down. It hurt, but not enough to keep me out. But I
thought we were gonna have to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Lisa's tough and always has been, and even like her heart rate and stuff she usually runs in the red like every day. It'll be supposed to be an easy day, and Lisa's always got her heart rate in the red because that's just how she is. And
I don't know how to do zone 2.
She's tough, really always has been. And so before the race, I was suggesting maybe not because I was trying to back out, because Lisa had some knee problems. She had taken 3 weeks off of long runs because her knee was bothering her so bad, and so we ran anyways. Yeah, I was not gonna not run. I feel like I've run with worse injuries before. Long story for another day, but I actually ran 10 miles with a broken arm. I was not going to not do this race. Those first several miles felt so good, other than the hamstring. My knee felt great. My cardio was a little rough, but my knee felt great going up and down the hills. Like I said, I was just excited to be out there. Yeah, and I remember looking over, we're about mile 9, and I saw in Lisa's countenance, she was in pain, and it wasn't hamstring, it was her knee that had started bothering her. I thought, man, I don't know if we're gonna finish. So yeah, and then we had some visitors. I
had planned a surprise for him. His brother and sister-in-law and their kids came out with our daughters, our oldest and our youngest, and surprised him at the finish line. I knew they were coming. Carrie was actually the person that got me back into running when we moved to Oklahoma, and she was my first cheerleader at my first 5K, like 15 years ago, I think. And we have a picture of her and our daughter, our oldest daughter, on her lap, and we recreated it at the race on this race on Saturday.
True, it was good. What we ended up doing is we finished it with time 2:16, which we didn't set any records. Of course, for qualifying for Boston, we'll have to go way faster than that. But the goal was to finish together, and so we did that. And then again, I couldn't believe we did with everything kind of going on with Lisa's health.
Yeah, he definitely could have finished a lot faster than me that day, but he stayed with me the whole time.
I was 1 second faster.
Yeah, 1 second. It's right. He did beat me.
So I beat her. Anyway. So let's talk about your knee.
My knee. I was so excited during this training cycle. It was the first time I had been able to run consistently in over 6 years because of my back. I probably rushed things a little bit, running without my insoles for a while. I knew it was not a good idea. Making some form mistakes. And it was about the beginning of October when I started noticing the knee pain. And I adjusted my training schedule and tried to work on some exercises at home that I could do to kind of mitigate some of that pain, but it just continued to get worse. And even with taking 3 weeks off of long runs and it was like 9 days, I think, of no running at one point. that I really hoped that I could get through the half marathon okay, but that didn't happen.
It's a long time to take off.
It was a long time to take off. After the race, I could not walk. I was on crutches for 5 days. Probably should have been on them a couple more days, but I have a toddler and crutches are hard with a toddler. So I limped around for another 4 or 5 days, and it took a good probably 12 days before I could kind of walk normal. You know, the doctor said it's not torn. My meniscus is just damaged and needs some time to kind of heal. So for now, I'm focusing on PT exercises. I'm riding the bike when I can. I'm hoping to start walking a little bit next week. I go back in a little more than a week and really hope to get like a return to run plan from the orthopedic doctor. I think it's really interesting too that Steven has finally found a desire and almost love for running. Not quite love yet, right? But he's got a desire to run and a dedication to running, and now I can't. So it's been really humbling to just kind of sit on the sidelines for the last few weeks and cheer for him and watch him. And we have family members that have started running again because of us running, you know. And I truly am so excited for everybody that is doing it. And
I've gotten over 50 miles since you've stopped running.
50 miles. Yeah, that's a lot of lost miles. Yeah. But it has been so fun to watch from the sidelines and cheer for him. So.
Well, thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.
So, I want to talk a little bit about our monthly updates. And so, every month, we're going to do monthly updates. And part of that is just so y'all know what we're doing as far as how close we're getting to Boston. One of the main ones we're going to be tracking, especially here at first, is that mile for time. And so, I'm about to show you my first mile for time that I do. So, we have that just as the baseline of how much faster I need to get. And because the qualification for Boston is really hard. It's a 7 minute and 4 second pace for 26.2 miles, which is a long time to be running that fast. Trying to get faster, we're going to be showing our average just monthly miles, the average times that we're having each month, and then some other fitness challenges and things we're going to do along the way as we're doing that, tracking some gear, shoes, and other things that we're doing with what to wear at other temperatures and things like that.
Yeah, and for me, my monthly updates are going to look a little bit differently than Steven's. Obviously, right now, my main focus is recovery, so I will be updating monthly on where I'm at with that, and hopefully before too long, I will have some mile for time updates and monthly mileage to add in. But like I said, for now, it's going to be mostly my recovery.
We're out here at a school in our neighborhood, and one of the things we're going to try to do is just track my 1 mile improvement. In order to qualify for Boston, I've got to run at a 7:04 minute mile pace. So right now, I can't do a mile that fast. We're going to try to keep tracking that as I'm trying to improve that, and it's a really hard goal to do that 26 times, but that's what I'm going for. At least it's out here videoing me today. It's a little toasty, and so we're going to get started here.
It is almost 80 degrees. We ran all summer long, so we are used to running in the heat. However, it has been a lot nicer, a lot cooler. So it's gonna make his mile for time today a little bit more difficult, but I am super confident that he is gonna meet his goal before too long, for the mile at least. And then we just gotta multiply that by 26. This track is not a quarter mile, so I don't know how many laps he's gonna have to do. I wish I could be running with him right now, but I'm still recovering from my meniscus injury. So for now, I am gonna keep walking when I can. I am almost walking without a limp, which is good news. I'm gonna ride my bike. I'm gonna do my strength training exercises to really work on rehabbing that area of my leg and my knee. For now, I'm just gonna be out here cheering him on and watching him work towards his goals, and eventually I will be back on the track with him and I'll be putting in the miles, but for now really working on making sure that this doesn't happen again.
Making it look so easy. Oh, I think he just hit a mile.
So what I just did, which I feel like is pretty maxed out as far as heart rate and my own capability, not only do I have to improve that time by 15 seconds, I've got to go do that 26.2 times. So yeah, anyways, that's a lot of room for improvement and growth, and so it's Boston's a very lofty goal, but that's the point, is to have a really hard goal and go after it, and it might take a couple of years, but that's where we're going.
That's right, and big goals, but small steps to get there.
That's right.
So 1 mile at a time.
Yes. All right, so there's my first mile for time. I hit 7:19, which is fine, but not fast enough for Boston. So we're trying to qualify for Boston, and I'm gonna have to get way faster and be able to do it for way longer, but this is just the beginning. And so even though we're starting in different places, we've got that same goal in mind.
Just a little preview for what's coming next week. We're going to give you a little bit more insight into what our daily life looks like and how we manage the chaos of church and family and our health and everything else that comes along with having 3 teenagers and a toddler and a big dream, a big goal of qualifying for Boston.
That's right. So
Yeah.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Lisa.
And
we're running our second half strong.